Hello, beautiful souls of our quantum community. Welcome to this wonderful conversation today, the Continuum Immersion of authentic conversations. And today we're going to be talking all about love. So stand by just a moment while I bring in Carla and Patsy. Hello, beautiful souls.
Hi.
Welcome to this beautiful conversation on love. As we know, we celebrated, or many of us celebrated, many of us boycotted Valentine's Day this week. But our conversation today is all about the frequency of love and what that means to be able to give, receive, and embody and experience more of it in our day-to-day lives. So many of us consider this month to be the month of love, but the truth is, love is a tangible experience and expression for us each and every day. And of course, don't we all want to feel more love in our lives? And I don't mean just the idea of it. I mean feeling it, where it elevates our expression of who we are, where it elevates our magnetic point of attraction, the law of attraction with the universe, to cultivate greater and greater and greater experiences. And at the same time, we have all experienced some type of pain, heartache from the past, the loss of love, the loss of loved ones. So how do we continue to break down those barriers, to break down those walls around our heart and live fully and freely in the most loving, glorious way that we were meant to? And that's going to be part of the wonderful tips today from myself and my beautiful tri-leads here, Patsy Balaki and Carla Perez. And you may have joined us last year for the wonderful Divine Feminine Immersion retreat in Boone, or you may have been part of these conversations that we cultivated every week for a year. And so we welcome you in this brand new year. We are this beautiful blank canvas. So I'm going to share my top 3 tips for how we can be more loving first and foremost to ourselves, because that love that we seek and that we seek outside of ourselves first starts within, the journey inside, the journey to be more loving, kind, and compassionate with ourselves. But before I share my 3 tips, I'd like to have you hear from our wonderful tri-leads. Patsy, would you like to start and take it away with some of your ideas and tips on love?
Ideas and tips for love. That's really, I would say, a vulnerable spot, right? Things that have worked for me, I could only relate through experience. And something that continues to be very prevalent in my life is where my attention, where my dedication goes, that's what I see that flourishes. So it's not only with, my immediate family at home, but as you can see, the flourishing of our relationship, our community here with my sister Carla. If you know the trajectory of our lives, it's been, it's rocky, it's been ups and downs and everything, but it ultimately comes down to what is it, right? What is the meaning of love? And I think it's the surrendering, releasing, forgiving, being grateful for what we have, and where you are leading with that. Like one of the things that I would also say is, as women, most of the time, we carry a lot of weight. We carry a lot of things that really don't belong to us, but they're a part of our radar. They're a part of our nucleus. They're part of the household. They're part of the family. And we take in so much of other people's responsibilities and things because we have the heart to do it. But I feel that there are times that I would say the most honorable thing that you can do for a healthy heart, emotional healthy heart, physical healthy heart, is to take care of your health. Really take care of your health and put yourself in the center of the beginning of everything that you want to do in life. Because something I always say is nothing happens without you. And if you are not at that center of this beautiful, whatever it is, cocoon, in your bedroom, in the kitchen, like really nourishing, getting back to the basics of nourishing your mind, your body, your heart, your emotions. It's something that is going to continue on building on building. So one thing that I like to do is to kind of like an assessment, right? Look at your heart as a pantry. Okay, what is, what are things are like outdated, right?
Oh
Things
my
that you
God,
can
I
throw
love
away. And then just start doing that, and then physically go to their pantry and put some intention into that. So I would say that's something that kind of makes sense, right? Because the pantry is what's feeding you too. It's what's feeding your family. It's the place where, if you think about it, it's got to be an honorable space because it's feeding your body. It's feeding your family. So pay attention to that, I would say. And anything else, it just comes from being simple, not really taking things too hard, too personal. If there's something that it's out there that's bothering you, like for instance, words, I'm not so expressive with when I communicate on paper, but if there's something I don't understand or I don't want to be considered something triggering, I will pick up the phone and say, hey, let's talk. What's going on? Right? Because to me, that sense of that, I can sense the tone, I can understand where we are, and give it a different eye view, give it a different way of seeing the same situation, but in a different light.
I love that. Such great perspective.
Thanks.
Beautiful, beautiful wisdom.
Carla?
Masterful wisdom, as I like to say about you, Patsy. Carla, would love to hear about some of your beautiful insight and tips on this wonderful subject of love.
Thank you. Well, it resonates so much with what Patsy said, and you can apply, that technique into just about everything in your life. I love what she said about, your heart is your pantry, and you hold a lot of inventory. So, one of my tips is just, it's similar to that, take an inventory of how you're feeling inside, pay attention, take time in the morning to pause, do your morning ritual of quiet time. I highly suggest, if you don't have it, if you jump right into brushing your teeth and, whatever people do, turn the news on or whatever, don't do it. Take time for yourself. Don't even look at your phone. Sit in quiet and then really feel what's happening inside. And then make a note of it. I feel good today. Maybe I don't feel so good, or whatever it is that you're feeling. And then keep track. Maybe in a week from now, go back and say, you know what? I feel better now, but how? At least you were feeling a certain kind of way and you've gone back, right? And you've progressed through it. But how do you make progress? You can't make progress if you can't pinpoint that something's happening. So self-love is, an act of hanging on and releasing, like Patsy said. You hold on to something, and then when it's time to release, you have to release, you have to let go. Nothing is to be held forever. Some things come into our lives for a certain time. Some people come into our lives for a certain time. Some people stay a lifetime. Some things stay a lifetime. But we have to be able to recognize when those things are no longer, or those people are no longer serving us for, joy or any positive feedback or any positivity, any uplifting that we need, then it's time to move on. And that's the biggest love you can do, is give yourself that space to recognize when it's time to let go of something that you've been holding on to for whatever reason. So that's my tips.
I love that. It's really, discernment is such a powerful life skill. And it's something that we cultivate through time. And of course, the contrast of experience, which it always has its peaks and valleys from an emotional perspective. But I love the theme the point of connectivity that you both shared around releasing. And so my offering to all of you that are listening today is from the Love Frequency program. And it's basically the Love Code Breath Technique. This is very simple. This is very practical. And in the moments when you start to feel triggered, activated, overwhelmed, maybe you start to go into self-judgment or blame, self-doubt or uncertainty, and then you start to close down. And when we close our hearts, we are never living as fully, freely, and delightfully as we can. And we are all here to experience a life of joy. And for us to experience joy consistently, we have to stay open. So the Love Code breathing sequence or technique is 3 breaths. You can repeat each one as many times as you need to until you feel ready to move on to the next. And the beautiful thing about this process is the more that you do it, the faster it works. And then you start to see like, oh gosh, I'm not feeling triggered or closed or angry in a way that I typically would in the past in response to this situation. So the 3 steps are release, forgiveness, and gratitude. So when we talk about release, we talk about letting go. And this involves being present in the moment. So you are harnessing the power of mindfulness, right? The power of your intention in the moment to let go of whatever that stressor may be. So through the breath in your in-breath, you're just simply connecting with the earth as if you were a tree. So think about stepping into the love frequency is like, okay, I'm going to step inside a tree. I'm going to feel those roots to the earth. I'm going to feel those branches to the sky above me. And I'm going to open and strengthen my body. And then when you're ready to release, to let go, on the exhalation, just let go of whatever that emotion is, whatever that feeling is that you no longer need to hold on to. It might take about 3 breaths for that. Then come into a breath of forgiveness. It doesn't have to be about forgiving another person. It's just an energy of forgiveness that you can bring into yourself. It becomes a healing balm. And forgiveness paves the path of grace. And when we can allow grace into our lives, it is so tranquil. It is like filling yourself with peace, tranquility, and solace. And then when you feel that sense of calm, tranquility, then take a breath of gratitude. Gratitude for the courage that you have to shift your energy, to shift your emotions, to shift your life force, and to shift your magnetic point of attraction with the universe, to uplift it, to elevate it. And then we start to see all of the experiences of synchronicity, of serendipity that start to happen. And we go, oh, wow, it's really so simple to be more loving and kind and compassionate to myself in this moment. And what that means is then we become the ripple effect of that with others in our day-to-day life. So I invite you to this wonderfully simple practice. And I invite you to be curious about love in the ways that you crave it, in the ways that you express it, in ways that you want more of it in your life, in your body, in your mind, and in your soul. Gals, do you have any last minute shares that you'd like to incorporate today?
Yes, I let Carly go first.
No, thank you. I do have something there. I love that you said, breath, because, I'm all about it. Yoga is all about breathing deep, conscious breaths. And it's about the force and the strength that we get with every inhale. And that detoxification that we get from the exhale. That helps us release. Subconsciously, we're releasing, we're de-stressing the body, we're de-stressing the mind, we're de-stressing the spirit. So breath is just such a beautiful practice, such a great practice to be able to release and let go. So I love that.
On that note of the breath, how do we connect to the environment, to the outside forces, to the universe, how that energy trickles down onto our environment. How do we invite that energy to come into our spaces? Opening the door, you bringing that energy into your home, you're breathing. So the closest things that are around you are the ones that have more impact in your health. So pay attention, what's around you? What are those things that are taking attention from you for you to be your best self, to create an environment that is going to provide the peace, the comfort, the safety in that, right? So pay attention to that.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So beautiful. Well, I'd like to invite you to visit the website, thesoulinstitute.co. You can sign up for our newsletter. And if you were on it yesterday, you received a beautiful email with insight from all three of us, sharing our tips and going a little bit deeper on some of these energies of healing and transformation with love, love of self, and love for others. We also invite you to join our Quantum community on Facebook for more insight, inspiration, and messages of empowerment. We will see you right here on Instagram next month for another Continuum immersion where myself, Patsy, and Carla will bring you more tips, more ways that you can find that sense of fulfillment, harmony, abundance, and love that you are craving right now. Many blessings.
Love it. Blessings. Happy Saturday.
Ciao for now.